Okay, everybody, today's topic is healing our government, being thankful for a corrupt government. Now, I'm not bringing any judgment to this. The facts are the facts. The people that govern our country, our states, most of our states, are totally in the interest of money and big business, and they are against the well-being of the people. This is a fact that I'm not going to even discuss, so it's not involving judgment. You just have to look at the legislative history and the voting history of what's going on in Washington and in many states, and the appearance of what services are available to help people in the different states to see where the corruption lies. There are some good states that are shining examples. That have managed to do some good things that help people. And those are the models that we should try to emulate. But for right now, we're going to heal this problem. It doesn't look like elections are healing it. It doesn't look like any letters or violent acts that people are doing are going to change anything. These Congress people and senators and governors get right up there on their podiums without any shame and fight for things that are against American people. Now, I have one shining example that cannot be refuted, that both sides of the political spectrum, right or left, will have to admit it's true. Because it is part of documented legislation. In 2006, they created Medicare Part D to help people on Medicare pay for their prescription drugs. They did this during a Republican-controlled government, president, and at least one of the houses, Congress or Senate. And what they did is they put in a little rule that says Medicare, which is the biggest insurance provider in the country, has no negotiating ability with the pharmaceutical companies. This is an outright blatant corrupt act, a corrupt thing to add into that legislation, because every insurance company does negotiate prices with the drug companies that they purchase the medicine from. Even the Veterans Administration can negotiate prices. So it's not oh, the government can't do that thing. No, branches of our government that provide health insurance, like the Veterans Administration, negotiate drug prices for one drug in particular down to $45 a month. That same drug in Medicare costs $450 a month. These are all in your college textbooks. You can see the whole battle that went on where the corrupt legislators threatened the ones that voted against that. All kinds of threats and kind of like coercion, extortion, to get the votes they needed to pass this the way it was. And every single one of the spearhead people on those committees to pass Medicare Part D without the power to negotiate prices immediately left Congress after their terms were up and got salaries in the millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical and drug companies as lobbyists, as employees. This is the corruption that we need to be grateful for. So we're going to be, right now, I'm going to do a gratitude exercise. It's the only way to heal this. We have to accept what is and know that it's from inside of us. And we have to own what is, even though we may be fighting every day on the outside against it. Internally, because it exists and because we are the creator, we have to accept these things inside of ourselves in order to heal it, in order to change it. So I am thankful right now for the most corrupt government that America has ever seen, which it probably isn't. It's been going on for years. I'm thankful for the poisons that they've allowed back onto our crops and to leach into our water systems, and the fracking that's going on that creates more contaminated water in our cities and towns, and all of the people that are being hurt by that. I have intense gratitude for all these situations, and I accept them as being good. I'm grateful that Americans don't have dental care. I'm grateful that you can have an infection that is eating away at your jaw or an injury and your health insurance will not cover it. I'm grateful that the hospitals will only give you, antibiotics and things to keep you alive, but will not do a dental surgery to correct the situation so that you can move on from the life-threatening condition and regain your health. I'm grateful for the Medicare not being able to negotiate drug prices due to political corruption. I am grateful for the forever benefits and salaries that Congress and senators give themselves. They have the best health insurance in the country that they keep forever, even when they're out of Congress, and salaries that seem to go on even when they're out of Congress and Senate. I'm grateful that these people that we elect into these privileged conditions continue to use their privilege to pass laws against the betterment of the people who put them there, against us. I'm grateful for the fact that we spend so much money on military and that we've created a whole nother branch of military after 9/11 called Homeland Security, that is also a sixth of the entire military budget, or is a sixth paramilitary branch of government that gets funding whatever it needs. It's mostly, and I'm thankful that it's used mostly to further support the oligarchy that is developing in our government. The oligarchy, the rule of the masses by a handful of elites. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for a president that will outright say he's out to destroy the health care for millions of people. I'm grateful for all of the millions of Americans that have always fought against health care for people. I'm grateful for these people, most of them toothless anyway, that fight against health care. And I'm grateful for people that fight against the rights of women to control their bodies and that want to protect the lives only of the unborn. And once they're born, the story is completely different. They don't want them to have health care. They don't want them to have food. I'm grateful that our government cuts food stamps and makes all kinds of rules and ways to block it from people. I'm grateful that our government does really stupid things like taking away a man's driver's license who doesn't pay child support so he can't get to work, locking men up forever because they don't pay child support, like that's going to enable them to pay child support. I'm grateful that our government actually chases fathers out of the country, like my father, for 10 years, even though he paid. It only took a report to the court that he wasn't paying to have a warrant out for his arrest. So I'm thankful for the unfair way that our society handles these issues with families and for the splitting up of families that occurs because of it. I'm grateful for the chemtrails in the sky. I'm grateful that our administration has opened up the national parks and our protected wildlife areas for deforestation and for mining. I'm grateful that everybody in the Sun Belt doesn't have solar power, free energy, and that we can be more dependent upon the electric grid and bills that are taking up huge chunks of our monthly income. I'm grateful that coal is the next best thing in energy in our country. I'm grateful that we export glamour from Hollywood to the entire world, yet the average American can't even afford teeth. I'm grateful that I am missing 2 teeth in my mouth and can't afford to replace them. I'm grateful that these situations that I've just mentioned are only temporary and that there's something good going to come out of all of this. Only by accepting these things and covering them with love are we going to be able to change them within us. And that may take a sense of humor, everyone. So put on a big smile, have a sense of humor. Let's not attack one another on our social medias, but make jokes about it. Try to stay lighthearted and accepting of the tragedies that we see. Because as we see, so shall it be. So if we see all this stuff is really seriously gut-wrenching, horrible, anger inciting, fury inciting situations, which they really could be if you take them from that, if you take them that way, if you wish to bring them inside of you that way, they can incite fury, and horrible acts can be justified because of that fury, because of that injustice. Instead, let's be grateful for the injustice. Let's be grateful for the abominations that is our government. Let's just let them know that they're going to have to change. Let them know that you love them, but they're going to have to change. And let's love them right out of office and get people in there that will have a better chance of not being under the control of the big money planet controllers right now that really have America in their grasp. Along Great Britain and a lot of other centers of power in the world. Understand that the center of power is in you, but not if you're going to waste your time fighting it on the outside. So let's love it and bring it all inside of us. Be thankful for a corrupt government. Be thankful for our corrupt senators and our blatantly corrupt Congress people. Be thankful for the ones that pretend that they care about the people and the ones that actually do care about the people. Let's be thankful for the whole spectrum of these people and see the power going through that gratitude and through that love that we put into them to the ones that need to be empowered. And, love and kindness is really the way to get this thing to change. So the acts of people that come out and do things, we need to spread love and kindness over that too when it appears. So, let's not condemn. Let's talk about accepting and owning whatever we see and perceive and covering it with love and gratitude. It may sound a little bit sarcastic, like when I say, thank you, Creator, that I fell out of that oak tree and broke my arm off and had to go through 18 orthopedic surgeries to reattach it. It still doesn't work that great, as far as bending it, but at least it's there. And I can still use my left hand to play the piano, not octaves or anything I used to do, but I've got an arm and a leg that was split, the femur. So I thank Creator for that accident. I thank the Creator for cancer that was cut out of my throat 4 times. And I'm thankful for being the longest surviving AIDS survivor on the planet. There's a reason why I'm here, and that reason has to be part of you. It's part of you. We're all connected in this. Um, that's why we've got to do something that's totally off the wall. No more of the same old, same old. It's not going to work. I mean, you can plan a big coup and a big attack and a big, destruction of Washington or Tallahassee or, any place that deserves, on the outside, deserves to be changed. Um, that's not going to do anything. We got to do it inside of us. We've got to bring in that right line, that love from our right side, and cover all of that corruption, cover it and transmute it and transform it. So today, everything that you see change, you run on the road and you see a dead animal, be thankful for that. Be thankful that the Creator allowed you to see that poor slaughtered animal on the road. Let's not judge it and go, that's horrible. Okay, no more judging. Let's just observe. As the Creator, let's observe without making an observation. And we'll figure out inside of us and together how we can make this change happen. So this is an ongoing process. Tune in. We'll try to figure out the mechanism for creating this wonderful, wonderful change. But it definitely has to do with your love that's inside of you, your eternal love, that's eternal part of you, that nothing in this world can change, no matter how horrible it looks. So let's be grateful for it showing itself. We're like at no other time in history, where there's total transparency in everything. And this means we can correct it. Nothing's hidden. Everything's there that we can see, we can take in, we can correct. We'll figure it out together as we keep going. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy the full moon. Remember, use that energy to heal and to love and transmute everything. Have awesome, awesome day and an awesome full moon. I love you all. Bye.